felt like you need to hide your feelings? For example, you're really upset, sad, or angry because you didn't want to cause a problem or be a bother to anyone? In the anime Mob Psycho 100, the main character Shigeru Kageyama, also known as Mob, deals with this a lot. Mob has really strong psychic powers and he hides his emotions, and the culture can influence this, and then the anime shows this culture ideas a lot. He believes that his emotions are very dangerous. Because of that, he tries really hard to help keep his emotions under control. In the show, there is something called Mob's emotional meter, where when his emotion hits 100%, his powers explode. When it reaches 100%, his emotions explode along with his powers. The show isn't just about fights and psychic abilities. It's actually a lot more about that. People deal with emotions, and the culture shows that. So today, I am going to be talking about Japanese culture and Western culture. Let's start with Japanese culture. In Japan, there's a concept called wa, which means harmony, and it's to avoid conflict, and it talks about how group harmony is important, keeping peace. Because of this, people try not to show strong emotions because they think that it might upset others. A researcher named Garrett Hafstead studied culture difference and found that Japanese focuses a lot on group harmony, which is shown here. So people might hide their personal feelings if it helps keep things peaceful. We can see this clearly in Mob Psycho 100. Mob keeps his anger and sadness inside because he doesn't want to bother people or cause trouble. He thinks that if he lets one or cause trouble, he might lose control and hurt people. But the show also shows that keeping emotions inside for too long can build up pressure. Now, let's look at the Western culture. In Western culture, like the US, people are usually encouraged to express their emotions more openly rather than keeping them inside. For people to talk about it, or to show their emotions. The American Psychological Association even says that expressing emotions can be good for your mental health. We also see this a lot in Western movies and TV shows, such as Riley in Inside Out, which is shown here. So if Mob were a typical Western hero, he'll be more encouraged to show his emotions rather than keeping them inside. Finally, Mob Psycho shows that both controlling emotions and expressing them can have problems if they go too far. When Mob keeps his emotion inside for too long, they eventually explode when his emotional meter reaches 100%. And here is an example of Mob's emotion exploding when he keeps it inside for too long. So as you can see in that video, it shows how his meter reaches 100% when he's angry or when he reaches his full potential and he can't keep his emotion inside for too long anymore. But the anime also shows that completely uncontrolled emotions can cause damage too, as you saw in the video. So the main lesson of the story is that balance is important. Too much suppression equals emotional explosion. Too much uncontrolled emotion causes problems. That's why balance is important. It's good to control emotions sometimes, but it's also important to express them in healthy ways. So in conclusion, culture shapes emotions, and then for Japanese culture, it shows and talks about how you should control your emotions rather than expressing them out loud. While in the Western, it is the complete opposite, where your emotions are suppressed and are talked about openly rather than keeping them inside. And By talking about both sides, it helps us understand how different cultures handle emotions. Thank you so much for listening.